I chose the name Axlerate because I think it appropriately relates what I want to accomplish from this YouTube channel. The word axle, it's a car term, right? Your axles. And then accelerate, that's also a car term. But I want to think about it as, you're accelerating your life. You're taking something, harnessing it, bottling it, whatever, and kind of running away with it in a good way. And so that's what my hope is with this channel, is that, someone can find some kind of a relationship with the car stuff, and then someone can also be like, hey, this is really cool, the car stuff and whatnot, but I kind of want to know a little bit more about what's going on in this guy's life, or I want to know a little bit more, I want something relatable that's outside of cars. That's how friendships are made. A lot of people get into cars because they like cars, but also because, it's a good way to make friends. I mean, with some of my best friends, yeah, we met because of cars, but usually when we meet up and stuff, we don't even talk about cars. So it's amazing how that works. All right, so this is kind of the inside overview. I know it's pretty hard to see because I'm only using a GoPro for recording and whatnot, but this is what the car looks like inside. It's actually pretty clean. The only thing that's kind of not exactly stock, if you will, are the radio, the shift knob, and then the center console. The center console is actually a European version of it. It's still a genuine Honda part, but I ended up just putting that in just because it was from the old Civic. The shift knob is actually an NSX shift knob. It just feels really good in the hand, and I just wanted to get something different. Let's see what else. It's got a center armrest. I just got that from the dealership, brand new. Other than that, I think that's, oh yeah, the steering wheel. So the steering wheel is also, it's not exactly technically stock. It's actually an Integra steering wheel. So it's a little bit thicker, on the rim and the bolsters and stuff. So it feels a lot more natural in your hands. Trying to think of what else. Fun fact, that parking sticker is actually from Honda R&D Americas.
I had my black Civic, my 92 Civic at the time, and you know, I had two cars while I was working at Honda, and I actually just forgot to give one of the parking passes back. And so, you know, I kept it kind of as a souvenir, so it, you know, kind of lives on. That's pretty much it for the interior. It's actually really, really clean. Enough about that. Let me see if I can show the outside. This is the outside of the car. Again, it's actually pretty clean as well. It's not exactly clean, as in like dirty or anything like that, but you know, it is in marvelous condition. Unfortunately, we had some rain a while ago or whatever, and so, you know, you can kind of see some rain spots and whatnot, but other than that, it's in really good condition. Kind of the front end. This is probably the worst part of the car, to be honest. I think the previous owner, first owner, whoever, might have gotten in like some small fender bender or whatever, and so it's a little bit awkward. Not sure if you can really tell, but that's it for the exterior, to be honest. Rear quarter panel on this side is actually miraculous. There's nothing there whatsoever. Okay, that's just dirt. Here's that. This is probably the worst of it. It's kind of hard to see over here, but there is a slight bubble like right there. It's nothing major, to be honest, so I'm not all that worried about it. That's just dirt. But yeah, car's really good. Let me see if I can pop the hood. I did have a slight radiator mishap. I don't remember exactly what happened, but it was actually a cracked radiator. I think it cracked somewhere over there. Ended up just replacing it, but unfortunately coolant and other stuff did spew out, so it's a little bit dirty from that aspect. As far as everything else though, it's bone stock clean. I mean, there's absolutely like no rust or anything like that, so I'm pretty fortunate with the overall condition of this car. But yeah, it's even got the stock, you know, emission stickers and all that stuff. But yeah, that's a brief introduction or show around of the car. A lot of people are probably wondering, you know, this guy's an engineer. You know, he probably makes somewhat decent money. You know, he's not rich, but like, why that old of a car? Why, you know, he's 28 years old, he should have his life put together and stuff. You know, why is it like now that he's still having a really, really old car? And I feel like the answer to that is, well, to be frank, I used to have a 1992 Civic, which is very identical, if not practically the same car as what I have right now. And, you know, it's nostalgia. That's probably the best way to put it. I had that car in college, and I used that car to, like, help me get a job, essentially. So, I mean, you know, I tore down the engine, turboed it, rebuilt it, put in another, like, B18 instead of the D16. And so there was a lot of work that I did with that car, and that car actually taught me a lot about, you know, just practical engineering, just because of the hands-on experience and whatnot. And so, you know, I used to have a Toyota 86. That car was retired, and so, you know, all I had money was for an older car, and so I just jumped on this car when I got it. So this car is actually from Nebraska, as you know, in the previous whatever. But yeah, so I got it in Nebraska on June 4th of 2021. We took a road trip there, took one car, drove it back, and car made it. 6-hour road trip, no big deal. eventually, I am saving for another car, so stay tuned on the channel for, you know, to find out exactly what kind of car that's going to be. It is going to be a fun car, and it's going to be a newer car, if not a brand new one. So that's kind of the reason why I have this car right now. It's, you know, it's reliable transportation, it's fun to drive, it's very practical. I had a lot of leftover parts for this car as well, so, you know, why not take advantage of that and, you know, start using it for whatever, spare parts, repair parts, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, that's the reason why I have this car. As far as future plans for it, I don't exactly know what the future plans are. That kind of depends on the channel. If the channel grows and if it becomes, you know, really successful and whatnot, I don't mind taking, you know, the income generated from that channel and putting it into this car. Whether or not it's going to be like a full-on like restoration, not that this car needs much of a restoration anyway. There is a small bubble spot on the rear, on the driver's side rear quarter panel, but I'm not going to fret over it. The car isn't driven in the winter time, and that's how it's going to stay. So I mean, I'm not going to do much about it. It sucks that that happened, but oh well. Anyway, so I mean, as far as plans and stuff, you know, it could even go up to you know, K-swap all-wheel drive. You know, if the channel becomes that successful, I don't mind turning this into a full-time like track car. Alright, this is gonna be a pretty fun video. Kind of going on a spirited drive. It's still really cold outside, so I, you know, can't do anything too crazy.